Good morning, Celtics fans. It's a very happy Friday because we might, keyword might, get to see Jayson Tatum back on the floor today against the Dallas Mavericks. I'm your boy, Adam Taylor. I've been covering the Celtics for almost 10 years. Currently, you can find my work over at USA Today, over at Nesson, and most importantly, as it says on the hat, the Celtics Chronicle newsletter. And as usual, I'm joined by my homie, compadre, co-host in crime, Mr. Billy Calabrese. Billy, we might be getting Tatum back. How you feeling?
Dude, it's been 298 very long days. We are back, baby.
How do you think? Yeah, so I'm looking at this from two different angles, right? From angle one, I'm like, yo, when you can add an all NBA guy, and obviously he's not going to be an all NBA guy off the bat, but he could get back to that level as the season goes on, especially as we get deeper into the postseason, then you're going to do it because no other team can add that level of talent into a rotation that's already second in the conference. The other way I'm looking at it is like, this is a short recovery time compared to what a lot of us expected. Now, I'm not saying that he's being rushed because I don't think the Celtics would risk their best asset, I'd say their best player. He's an investment for them. I don't see them risking anything to bring him back when the team is already doing so well. So I feel like everybody's comfortable there. Obviously, the medical team know far more about this than what we ever will. So I'm going to defer to the experts, obviously. But there's two different mentalities to have, right? It's a very quick recovery, but damn, it's going to be fun when he drops that first two or first three tonight, if it's tonight. How you feeling about all this, Billy?
Oh man, it's like the dark cloud has been lifted. Like ever since the night of the pink shoes, as I called it, when that injury happened, I thought like we would not be having enjoyable Celtic basketball for a very long time. And then we had this surprise season, and now we actually have Tatum joining the festivities. Like this is really a Cinderella story, man. The dream, man, you guys got to pinch me. I might still be dreaming because I did not expect any of this.
Do you reckon Tatum coming back makes the Celtics legit championship contenders?
It makes them the favorites in the East at the very least. And I
You
didn't mean
think?
for that to rhyme that like that, but I do think that makes them legit title contenders and by far the favorites in the East. And the betting odds have already swung that way just because of this news.
Do you know what made me laugh? One of the first things I saw after the news yesterday, just scrolling socials, was Knicks fans basically saying like, "Yeah, this doesn't change anything. Like, we're still the favorites. We can still win." They were very much like, "We were beating the Celtics last year with an All NBA level Tatum. What's this year going to change?" I genuinely think the Celtics would have come back in that series and won. I genuinely think they were going to win that game before Tatum went down hurt. He was having a monster game. I think that I wouldn't say it makes them championship contenders, but I don't see another team now that's a genuine threat in the East compared to Boston. New York have had defensive issues and offensive issues at stretches this season. It feels like they're kind of highly reliant on the way OG Anunoby plays. The Pistons are very inexperienced in the postseason, and that can sometimes go against you when you come up against a team like Boston that are just veteran, like led. Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum have just got so much deep playoff experience between them. Pritchard too, Hauser as well. Sorry, I'm not going to try and leave any names out there. So I'm not going to say that they're championship contenders because I just think there's some other potential pitfalls that come with saying that too early. But man, I kind of just want to be like, yeah, I could. If they won a chip this year, I wouldn't be too surprised, but I would be over the fucking moon.
Yeah, it would be the most unlikely championship probably ever from start to finish of a season. Like between expectations, what we saw, how it built up, and then like just a surprise. Because I mean, me and you are pretty much on the same boat. We did not expect to see Tatum play this season, let alone come back to a 2 seed.
I was completely against the idea of bringing him back this season, and part of me still is. And that comes down to like, I look at Kevin Durant as the ideal recovery from an Achilles. And when you look at Kevin Durant, and you sent this to me, and I'd seen it online as well, and I'll make sure I try and remember to edit this in. There was Tom Haberstroff had put out like a bit of a graph of speedy Achilles recoveries and longer Achilles recoveries. When you look at KD, he took 18.4 months to come back from his, and Tatum is coming back in 9.9 months. So almost 50% of the recovery time. Now, when you look at what KD's been able to accomplish and the level that he's played at and the sustainability that he's had, part of me was like, I don't mind Tatum being out for this entire season and maybe some of next season. That doesn't mean I don't want to see him play this year. And both things can be true. I do think that it could have been more beneficial to keep him out. But if he wants to play, and if everybody within the organization feels like he's ready to play, who are we to sit here and say that shouldn't happen? Like, that's just bullshit. That's an opinion that we can have, but it's not necessarily one that's fair once there's clearly medical personnel that have been like, no, it's going to be okay.
Well, yeah, and we really don't have the data with this new procedure. This bridge procedure is supposed to cut the recovery time in half. And if that's the case, then we're kind of right on track. It is kind of interesting looking at that chart, though, and you see how like guys used to come back from this injury in like 8-9 months, which is absolutely insane. But like I said, advances in medicine, there are different, we really are in uncharted territory here. I don't know. Maybe this is the new normal.
The only one I can look at and be like incredibly positive about right now is like Dominique Wilkins. And he came back around the same time frame after the injury and was just an MVP level guy off the bat, like came back and was on their ass. And I'm not saying that's going to be Tatum straight away, but I also think that there's a chance that the minutes he does play are going to be really impactful minutes. And that kind of leads me to the discussion point I want to get into is, what role do you expect him to have? Because that's the big discussion at the minute that's really pissing me off, is just how everybody's trying to pit Tatum and Brown against each other and be like, oh, well, Tatum needs to accept that this is no longer his team and he's stepping into Jaylen Brown's team. And they're all kind of beating around the caveat of for the rest of this season. Like, everyone that's saying that in national media are saying he needs to accept that for this season and then we'll revamp. How about this has always been Jayson and Jaylen's team. It's never been just Tatum's team. It's never been just Jay. It's been their team. So Tatum hasn't got to accept that he's coming back to Jaylen's team because he's coming back to his team with Jaylen. It's their team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
and nobody knows how to play with each other like those two. And they've been doing it for 8-9 years now. For them to not be able to like understand it, like, come on. Like, really? We're really going to put that? These guys are NBA champions. They're more mature than that. One of them doesn't have to like bow down to the other. They really are a partner.
Yeah, they're a tandem. And look, I don't expect Tatum to have the role that he did last year off the bat, but I do expect him to be given the ball a lot and asked to play make, because that's going to be one of the lighter lifts for him. Now, that's also going to help him get through this mental hurdle if he has one. Obviously, we can't just guess. But if he does kind of like need to relearn to trust his body, coming off screens and fighting over defenders that are hedging, that are jumping out to show at him, that are sending to, and getting those reaction times up early and kind of honing that processing speed that's going to be a little bit rusty, that to me is the best use of Tatum while he's on a minutes restriction, rather than being like, just go out there and play your natural game. No, go out there and create. Go and create for you, create for others, take the shots when they come. Don't try and force anything. And then you can evolve as the rest of the regular season goes on. Is that what you're expecting, more of a playmaking Tatum, or do you think he's going to be more of a catch and shoot guy for the first few weeks? How do you expect it to go?
I think the playmaking, because I think just having him with the ball in his hands is going to make him more comfortable and get past those mental hurdles. He's never been just a catch and shoot guy. I know as a rookie, he was actually pretty good at catch and shoot just in the corners, but I just don't see how any defense is going to let Jayson Tatum just kind of spot up and be open in a corner. They're going to do what they did before. They're going to have to double him. They're going to still treat him like Jayson Tatum, and he's going to be able to play make out of that, which I'm really looking forward to because I've missed it so much.
Are you concerned about the risks that come with it? I know that I've been pushing that interview I had with Dr. Abhinav Gotham the other day, where I was pushing like the risk side of things. Like, hey, he could have a re-rupture, which is the worst case scenario possible. It's disastrous and very unlikely. But he could have tendinopathy. He can have swelling. Like, just because he's back now, and John Corrales put this out on X yesterday. Shout out to John. It was, just because Tatum's back, he's going to be winded and he's still going to miss games. Just because he's back now, he's not going to play 20 straight. There'll be games where he won't play back in like the first or second night of a back-to-back. He might have swelling issues that he needs to miss a night or two for. And that was kind of part of the reason why me and you especially were like, he needs to be back mid-February to early March, because he needs ramp-up time to get healthy and get in shape, but also to give him the ability to miss games if he needs that longer recovery.
Yeah, we want him to get back to, hopefully some kind of playoff form. So I think right now is perfect, but it is kind of ballsy because, like, I know Dallas is a pushover. We're not worried about Dallas, but like just in the next week, it's Cleveland, it's OKC. It's kind of I really don't want to see Tatum going against Lou Dort, like, who I think is the dirtiest player in the league. But I mean, Tatum wants to he's not coming back to be a role player, and he wants to be thrown into the fire. Well, guess what? Cleveland and OKC, you're going to be burning, buddy.
That's the best way, though. I think he needs to be in one of those positions where he's kind of forced into finding internal motivation to be pushed into a new level of player. Because we don't know what version of Tatum we're going to get if he plays today, if he plays in the next home game. Whenever he comes back, we don't know what version that's going to be. All we know is he's going to be on the floor. So we don't know if he's coming back and he's already, like, we don't know what his baseline is. We've never seen Tatum have to come back off this type of a layoff. Is his baseline an all-star? Like, there's a chance that like, if you listen to people talking, I remember when Ron Harper Jr. was asked how Tatum looked against the main Celtics when he went and did that 5-on-5 practice with at the Auerbach Center, and Ron Harper Jr. was like, he looked like Jayson Tatum. So what's the baseline? Like, we don't know what his lowest form is right now. We're like, is he a high-level role player coming in on his first game back? Is he a all-star talent that's a bit rusty? And I think that changes the trajectory of not only the team, but everybody's expectations. Because if he comes back and looks like 60% of who he was before the injury now, like day one, man, people are going to be losing their fucking minds.
And what if it's even like, what if we're underestimating it? Like, what if this really is the best version of Tatum? The wrist is healed, so the shot's better. He's built up his body to a point where he's in the best shape of his life because he's had no choice but to do that. Like, I know the NBA wind and, getting up and down the court, that stuff you can't replicate, but everything else, what if that's at its best?
He's never had this amount of time off since entering the NBA. And I know it was forced, and I know that it was for some horrible reasons. Like, it's not like he would have enjoyed what he had to go through. Far from it. We've all seen the documentary at this point. We've all seen the discussions he's had where he couldn't walk. He had to move in with his mom for a minute. Like, he went through a lot, and I'm not saying it was enjoyable, but this rest that he's had, you are right. Like, any minor injuries that he was carrying, any long-term issues, we don't know if he underwent wrist surgery while he was off. Like, why wouldn't you? If you've been carrying wrist issues, you might as well get it done while you're out anyway, because it's going to heal far quicker than your Achilles. You can do, like, you just don't know. So I do think there is that world where we might be downplaying what he can bring on day one, and we might be kind of underestimating. On the flip side, we could all be overestimating. And I think one of the ways that we could overestimate, rather than just looking at Tatum as an individual, is how bumpy of a ride it will be for those first game, like 2, 3, 4 games, as Tatum gets up to the new pace of play that the Celtics operate at, gets used to finding some of these new guys that he's never played with and understanding their tendencies, where they like to receive the ball, how they set screens, how to get the best out of them, how to be your best around them. I don't think it's a case of Tatum's going to disrupt chemistry or he's going to disrupt rhythm and flow. It's just going to be, they're going to need to, like, the guys that haven't played with him before, which is a large portion of this current roster, if you think about it. Those guys are going to have to learn how to play with him as much as he's going to learn how to play with them. And I think that's where the bumpiness will come. I'm not saying they're going to lose a bunch of games. I'm just saying it might look ugly for 4 or 5 possessions a night. So be it. But I think, like, I do think we're underestimating what version of Tatum we're going to get, simply because we don't know what the baseline is. We have no reference point for him, which is good. And I don't want to ever need a reference point. This should be the only reference point good done. But I do think that's an important caveat.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that he knows this system. He knows where guys are supposed to be. He knows how they're supposed to play. I mean, he's been the biggest, the component of Missoula ball since it's been invented. So for him to be able to be plug and play, I don't think it's going to be that much of a disruption to, like, the guys around him, because like I said, it's all in the system. And as long as you're playing within the system, he's gonna have that safety net. He's gonna feel comfortable. It's gonna be like his blankie.
Like his blanket. Right. I want to get it onto this point. Do you think he's going to play on
100%.
Friday?
Yeah,
on
100%.
Friday.
It's been reported too much. Like Bill Simmons called it on Monday that he's playing Friday. So like all of his whispers had it on Friday, and then that injury report. Because if he doesn't play Friday, he's certainly not playing the Cavs game Sunday. He's not playing the OKC. You know what I mean? Like this is the one you walk him in.
Yeah, because it's an easier game, and then you get the whole like the NBA would like it because you get the whole Cooper Flag connection there, like Duke versus Duke going at it, like rookie phenom out of Duke versus superstar forward out of Duke. Like there's a whole like sub story to it which could draw in some fans. Now I am looking at like obviously when they play the Cavs, we know that Tatum wants to make his debut at home. So the Cavs are out of the question instantly because it's a road game. And then when they play the Thunder, is that at home? They play the Spurs on the road. They're on the road for a minute. So like you said, that they're not going to do that because he's made it very clear that his first game back will be at the TD Garden. So if it's not on Friday, the next opportunity for that home day would be next Saturday, the 14th of March against the Wizards. So that's kind of like it's either now or in 8 days' time. And 8 days' time means you've missed 4 or 5 games opportunity to try and ramp Tatum up a little bit. So I do think today makes the most sense. Now, does it look easier bringing him back against Washington than it does against Dallas? Probably. But the 5 games you lose in the meantime, that hurts. Now, the Celtics could be like, no, we're bringing you back on the road, but that's not what Tatum said he wanted. And he said on multiple occasions now, he wants it to be a home game. And I genuinely think the coaching staff would respect that and want to give him that. And I think they'd respect their fan base enough to want to give them that too. So it's today or it's next Saturday. And for me, it has to be today.
Yeah, 3/14 seems just too late in the season, honestly. I don't know if it's enough ramp up time. Now, I know there's some, like, I don't know, the number heads, they could love the 314 because I believe that's St. Louis's area code. That was the contract he got. He got $314 million. There's a lot of synergy there. But honestly, I think it's tonight.
If it's not, it's definitely 314.
Yeah.
In a way, I kind of wish it was 316.
Hear that beer bottle break? That'd be a great
Yeah.
intro for him.
Have you seen that dude? Just a bit of an aside. Have you seen that dude on Instagram that does like songs, but then like he sings like he goes into Stone Cold's voice while he's singing?
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm gonna look him up as soon as we get off.
He's excellent. Anyway, moving back. I do think that this is a Tatum return game. Obviously, part of me wants him to drop a 50 piece in like 16 minutes of play. I don't know. That's not possible, obviously. But part of me just wants him to go nuclear and just come back and be like the best version of Tatum we've ever seen. And obviously, the realistic side of me is like, hey, even if he gets like 8, 4, and 2, I'm cool with that. Like whatever. As long as he comes out of it healthy, like that's a win. I don't the production, the numbers, how it looks on the floor, all of that is secondary to getting him on the court, giving him some run, and getting him out of that game healthy. That is primary option. Numerate uno. Do that first, and then we can build everything else later.
And what do we think the minutes restriction is? We think it's like 20 minutes. Some people said 10 to 15. I think that's ridiculous. They're not just going to put him out there for 10 to 15. He needs to get
I had it like 14 to 20 kind of range, like in that range. Part of me feels like it's going to be 18 minutes tonight. If I was going to make a prediction with absolutely no information to back that prediction up, I'd say 18 minutes would be where I'd expect him to kind of hover. I think that's like a reasonable, responsible amount for one game back after 10 months off.
298 days, man. Been a long
time. So far.
And counting.
We don't know. With that being said, everyone, I want you to jump into the comment section, show some love. Let us know what you're expecting from Tatum. Do you think he's going to come back at all-star level? Like any Tatum talk you want, we'll be replying to the comments all the way through. If you're new here, hit subscribe to the channel. Show us some love, man. We're trying to do our thing out here. Trying. With that being said, we'll be back over the weekend and then into next week. Either myself and Billy, myself and Brandon. Got a cool interview coming for you on Monday. Touch wood, as long as that goes through, I'll have you covered there. And with that, peace out. All the love. Go Celtics. Welcome back, Jayson Tatum. Woo!